cycle.
Great. Our next question is, how intensive is the course load? How much time is there for other activities during the day and during the semester? I'm sure this is a great opportunity for Lane and Will to talk a bit about other areas of campus that you may be involved in as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I will leave that for the students to take the lead on that question.
Will, you want to go for it?
Sure. I mean, I think the course load is really what you make of it. I think you can really spend as much time as you want on it. Well, also, I think there's, obviously a bare minimum you need to spend on it, but I think there's a bunch of time that you can use to do other things. I, for example, take other classes on the side. I also am in a club. I have friends. I do fun things. I have time. So I don't think the course load is too intensive, but I also think that it's intensive enough to really make me feel challenged and really make me feel like I'm learning a lot every year. I mean, I look back every year and I see a huge change in my understanding of things. So I think I have plentiful time to do what I like while also being, properly worked by the rigor that is there.
I totally agree with all of that, Will. And I think just a note on St. Mary's generally, there are so many things to get involved with, whether that's like official through a particular organization or just because of the campus, just to meet people. If you go to like a campus activities board event or a residence hall association event or something, that you are able to like meet people super, super quickly, and you're able to like form connections like in integral and outside. But I also think this might be like a good time to mention, since we're kind of talking about workload, what we have are called dawn rags. And I don't know if we wanted to like really get into this, but just a quick note. So dawn rags are sort of a main form, I guess, of evaluation in the integral program, where you sit with your tutors and they basically talk about your performance and sort of you in class. And they do it in third person because they're more so addressing the other tutors. And they do that for some time, and then you have time to do that as well. So you can say really about your thoughts in the class. You can either agree or disagree with what they say. You can sort of ask them questions about the particular class or certain expectations. And so that's really how integral, I guess, does a big part. That's what kind of governs the whole program, I think, sort of having that communicative, flowing dialogue between students and tutors as a main form of like evaluation and conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true. And thank you for bringing that up. I had left that out of the PowerPoint part, but it's good to get that in somewhere here. So thank you, Ling. Taking up again, though, the question about sort of time and workload, the integral schedule for an integral student particularly in the first 2 years or the first 3 semesters particularly, it is a larger number of class hours than a typical St. Mary's course load. So there's a little more time, not a little, there's a significant, though not huge, increase in in-class hours. But to give you a picture of what our students are able to do. So we have right now in Will's cohort a student who runs track for the St. Mary's team and is also involved in ROTC down at UC Berkeley. We've had students playing on the volleyball team. We've had students, a lot of students doing rowing, a steady stream of students in rugby and the rugby team, which is quite a good rugby squad. Couple of rugby squads, I should say, the women's and the men's. And we've had students who have done, who've been on scholarship for performing arts as well. And so they've been doing a lot of music or in some cases dance. So yeah, so I think generally the integral students are challenged. They have a fairly demanding number of classroom hours in the first 2 years. But overall, they do succeed in doing a lot of other activities besides their integral studies, yes. Whether that's athletics or club activities or competitive speech and debate in some cases, or trying to put together a minor or double major or some combination of those.